So this is where I do most of my work. It's a studio that's in my house. It's a room just off my kitchen. And here, I'll give you guys a quick overview of it here. We've got a flat file for supplies. We've got my workstation there. My computer workstation over there. Flat files. Door out to my patio. And a little secondary desk here. So yeah, let's give a little more detailed look at everything. Again, you'll see that I've got books everywhere, books within reach, lots of supplies around. I apologize for the mess. I'm a bit of a self-confessed pack rat. But yeah, let's hop in here and delve in a little bit more. So like I mentioned, this is a flat file for supplies. Got, you know, gouache paints, charcoal pencils in here. These great graphite pencils, these Palomino Blackwings, which I really love sketching with. Bunch of other stuff too. Let's see what's in here. Packing supplies, framing supplies. I've got little acrylic paints lined up here. I'll sometimes slap a coat of acrylic paint on a sculpture that I do for reference, if I want some color reference from it. Speaking of which, we've got these little guys here too. You'll see these kind of scattered around the studio at random. Just little figures, little animal figures or human figures or whatever. Spray painted this matte gray color. I use a matte gray primer on these little figures that I pick up wherever, whether it's, you know, at the zoo gift shop or anything like that. And they make for great reference. You just get a nice light source on them, and you take quick pictures of them and use them for reference in your pieces. So again, like I mentioned, we've got my books over here. My books aren't really organized in any specific way. I don't really have, you know, concept books set aside from fine artist books or anything like that. I kind of keep them all within reach, and I kind of pull them off the shelves when I need them, toss them up here within easy reach, and refill the shelves when I start getting empty space on them. So you can see there's all kinds of books up here. I've got concept art books, World of Kong, artists that I admire, illustrators and concept artists I admire, Ian McCaig, Greg Manchess, reference books, Star Wars, the costumes from the movies. I've got books by me and C2, books by Terpning up here, Muka, gaming manuals too, to give me some inspiration, or if I'm working on a specific job for Dungeons and Dragons, I can use this as reference. I've got you know, other gaming books, The Art of Trudvang, which is a great European RPG that Paul Bonner did a lot of work for. You know, books on the natural history books. Books with, you know, animal reference, skeleton reference, things like that. We'll kind of go up here to the other books that are kind of above my easel here. Let's see what else I've got. Art of Brahm, wonderful illustrator, great painter. Tara Whitlatch. Again, more concept books. Art of Dragon Age, Art of How to Train Your Dragon, Pacific Rim, Jungle Book. Those books really get ideas going for me. I love concept art books because it's all about idea generation, and that gets my gears turning, and that gets ideas going through my head for my paintings and my pieces. These books like this Birds of Prey book right here. Those books like that are from the Barnes & Noble discount section. So if you guys ever are passing by a bookstore, stop at it. Run in at the discount section right up by the front. You'll usually find those for about $5. Great sources for reference. They contain images that you're not going to find on the internet. And again, it's going to set your pieces apart a little bit. Everybody, if they're painting, like, say, a golden eagle or something, they're going to type in golden eagle on Google. Everybody's going to get the same image, but you're going to have a different one because you're looking through a book with that. Again, more concept art books, fun stuff. Anatomy for Artists. We got another little figure over there, spray painted gray for reference. We got Scotland, giant lizards, wolves, dragons, more concept art books. Just a lot of stuff to kind of keep me going and keep the ideas flowing here. This here's my main workstation. If you guys saw Eric's video a couple weeks ago, you're pretty familiar with this layout. I have the same workstation that Eric does. This section can tilt back and forth, so it can lay down as as low as I need it to go or come up as high as I need it to come. Pull that sucker back up. And off to the side, I got a little supply shelf here. All kinds of supplies up there. I have gesso, varnishes, Gamsol, old brushes that I kind of save. You know, a lot of times people will pitch their old brushes. I like to save them. They kind of take on different shapes, so they can be useful for texture and things like that. So I'll kind of hold on to those. Down here in these drawers, top one, I've got a lot of my paints. I got more paints over here in my little travel bag. We'll get to that in a second. Next drawer is going to be my palette. Just cleaned it off. It's just a nice glass palette. And pulling out from that, I got my brush drawer here. These are the brushes that I primarily use. I have more brushes over here in the flat file. This drawer I've kind of customized a little bit. I just went in with a Dremel and put these little notches in the side here. And it allows me to put my brushes up there and not worry about them rolling off. So when I'm painting, I can have my brushes here, don't have to worry about getting paint all over the drawer, and don't have to worry about them rolling off and making a mess. We'll close that one up. Let's see what else we got. Miscellaneous supplies. There's some drawing supplies buried underneath there. Palette knives. Little bucket for gesso mixing. Underneath that, I've got a whole drawer for old sketchbooks. I like to hold on to all my old sketchbooks. There's always ideas that I'll come back to in those, so I like to hang on to them just in case. This is probably my favorite tool that I've got in my studio. Just a little mirror. Hello, everybody. Little mirror that allows me to sort of double check my paintings. It shrinks them down, gives me an immediate read on those paintings, and lets me see them in reverse, so I can kind of check my proportions and everything really quickly. Again, my travel kit I mentioned. This is what I carry around to the school. I've got more paints in this sucker here. Just a big metal box full of paints. Paper towels. It's just an old electrician's bag here. And when I go to school to do demos, when I go up to the atelier to do my demos or teach my classes, I'll bring that with. Got my little travel palette here as well. I can show you guys how this sucker works. So I got my little travel palette. Just a fold-out palette. Another glass palette. I can balance supplies in the two wings here, the wood wings, and put my paints in the middle and mix them up. So again, I use that when I'm out and about. Usually that means up at the school. Let's see what else we got here. So coming over here, you'll see that I've got my lights from my studio, for my workstation rather, two architect lamps here for my lights. Balanced on either side, and it allows me to move them and manipulate the light source as I need so I don't get glare on my paintings. Took me a while to figure out where to put those into the studio, but they work really well now. What else do we got? We've got a monitor over here next to my easel. It allows me to pull up reference really quickly and have it, you know, within eye distance when I'm working. Scooting over here, we've got my computer workstation. You can see my desktop icons are just about as cluttered as my shelves are. So, yeah, digital Tom mirrors physical world Tom quite a bit. So I've got lots of information there. Some more reference maquettes over here, anatomy maquettes. Some really great animal anatomy maquettes down there. Coffee, which is mandatory. More figures up here. I'm a huge naturalist nerd and wildlife nerd. So yeah, there's lots of dinosaurs, lots of wildlife in here. Some more books over here in this little closet. A bunch of supplies and frames and everything kind of squirreled away in there. Turning around here, we've got a couple more books up there. Again, more maquettes. A nice big Apatosaurus one, that's probably my favorite one in here. It's a little raptor dinosaur hiding back there by Dave Silva, who's a great sculptor. Up here we got more books, a lot of the Hellboy volumes. Spectrum, Jerome, Bob Kuhn, who's my favorite painter. You know, Sargent, Rockwell, Loomis, lots of great books. Here's a big flat file. I keep most of my old drawings and paintings and everything in here. Let's see, what do we got here? I don't know, let's pick this drawer. Yeah, old drawings. We've got supplies, or I'm sorry, these are artist proofs. We've got some artist proofs I'm keeping in here. Probably paintings in here. Yep, we got paintings in here. So just all kinds of miscellaneous stuff I keep in there, so it's out of the way, not cluttering up my room any more than it already is. You know, I've got some just fun stuff for inspiration within reach. There's a fun little Mike Mignola sketch that I keep near my easel. Love his artwork, love the way that he kind of distills down shapes and information, and kind of gets away with the bare minimum, and yeah, just great design sense. So I have a nice little Mike Mignola sketch there that keeps me inspired. Here's a big painting that's actually me pre-beard. Eric painted that for a book cover. He used me as the reference for it, and ended up giving that to me as a gift one year. So yeah, I keep that here in my studio. Eric's been a huge inspiration to me, both professionally, personally, as a friend, and basically a family member. So yeah, I keep that nearby. Paintings that are drying, I kind of throw up here on top of the books. If they're too big to fit in the flat file to dry, I'll balance them up there. Then I've just got, you know, a little desk over here in the corner. This little corner desk is a great place for me to sit down and either answer some emails on my iPad, or just do a little bit of sketchbooking or thumbnailing over here. My son also will use this when he comes and hangs out in my studio with me. He'll do some painting or sculpting over here. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. That's a tour of my studio. So thanks for joining me, and we hope to, well, I'll see you next time for next week's Watts Weekly, or the next time I'm doing a Watts Weekly, rather. And until then, enjoy your studies, and take care.